I can unequivocally tell you that this is going to be the most important radio broadcast, hands down, that I have ever done. Now, we have not been blindsided by the secession movement, but it's almost like a bus that ran me over 10 years ago. It's old news to us, but the new news is that it is now breaking nationwide and worldwide and is a symbol and an indicator of the sleeping giant that is America awakening. And the entire globalist program has been built and designed to block what you are about to see unfold. I am going to make some announcements here today, and I'm going to lay out plans for my deep study of the Constitution that can save this republic if you execute them. Victory is in our grasp. But secession itself is a red herring. I hope you're listening to me. What we really want is a new issuance of the Declaration of Independence signed July 4th, 1776. The purest American values, the purest essence of the United States was secession from a corrupt, distant corporate empire, backed up by military force. We are recaptured by the progeny, by the literal and figurative offspring of those robber barons 235 years ago. We are at the crossroads, and the entire enemy battle plan that we've reverse engineered is designed to suppress states' rights movements, because the states created the federal government, and it is not their right, it is not their duty, we the people that make the states. It is an absolute imperative beyond duty. It is survival. That we secede from the New World Order that has conquered us through fraud. That we declare the fraud and declare the fraud null and void, and then reconstitute the republic with a new Congress of the several states. The plans were laid by our forebears. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the 10th Amendment, the Ninth Amendment, all chief, all key, all armaments for our protection, foreseeing the crisis we've now entered. The enemy's tools is a dumbed-down population, a drugged population, a selfish, evil, greedy, weak population. And they don't even outnumber us. It's a fraudulent election system. We know that. Now, this is not complex, but this is not dumbed-down radio. This is a blueprint. And if constitutional lawyers pick this up, if Ron Paul can be drafted, if you put the energy in today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, this is the beginning. Everything else has just been a buildup. This is time for dedication. This is time for commitment and the spiritual decision to sign your John Hancock in your words and your deeds towards the restoration of our republic and putting us back on the course of liberty and justice for all. And what am I going to call for here? I'm going to call for what is in the Declaration of Independence, the founding document of July 4th, 1776. That is what I'm calling for. It is America. It is the birth of America. It is when it all started, and we have the tools. We have the information. We have all of it before us in our hands if we will only take it up from this inspired document. Number one, Ron Paul, in the videos up at Infowars.com, has said secession is the essence of America and the birth of our republic. It is more American than even George Washington, because he flowed forth from that. It is the fount, the center, the core the very blood of the Republic. It is July 4th. It is the freedom. It is the dignity. It is the absolute center of the universe on this planet for liberty and resistance to tyranny. It is our armor. It is our mind. It is our sword. It is our shield. It is our will. Now, I will expose the trap. The globalists are counterfeiters. They will take secession and they will repackage it as civil war and as racism, and you're already seeing that. You already see them jumping on it. They were ready. And the media, I've literally got probably 60 articles here, CBS News, NBC, you name it, showing Fort Sumter on fire that started the Civil War. Union ships bombarding the fort. And I saw one of the top neocon talk show hosts, I have his quotes here, coming out and saying, do not sign that petition. The government will come round you up. That's like telling John Hancock and Thomas Jefferson, don't sign the Declaration of Independence. Here, you see the Declaration of Independence? Give me a document cam shot, guys. I'm going to sign this. This is what it's all about. Glenn Beck says, are you out of your mind? They'll come round you up. My God, that man is a Benedict Arnold with stuff like that. Or maybe he's just a coward. He's got like 30 security people. I just go out to Bilderberg streets, have 1,000 people around me, and people are like, that's crazy, Jones. Why do you do that? Why do you tell folks where you're going, where you're going to be? Because it's in God's hands. That's why. The tree of liberty has to be refreshed with the blood of patriots and tyrants, and I'm not living in fear. I'm signing my name on to liberty, and I'm in 110%. I'm all in. I'm doubling down. There's no more backing off. There's no more playing games. There's no more half measures. You're either for freedom or you're going to be a slave. Now, let me give you my plan, and I want to start out first with how they're going to counterstrike. You've seen it. I told you for years. John Warner Defense Authorization Act says for insurrection by the states, governors, and legislatures. This is 2007 they were getting ready for this. This is a long-term plan when they were getting rid of Posse Comitatus, getting Brigade Homeland set up, 400,000 troops for domestic operations, Northcom standing up. The drones, all of the massive preparations that were going on and being established and being set up while all of this was going on, they said in the 2007 John Warner Defense Authorization Act, it says, and I read it on air to you, that they are preparing to block the states. They're worried about the governor's council, even though most of them are their operatives, because we could take that back over, and that's the logical place to have a new continental Congress of the states to restore the republic. Not a secession, recognizing our government's been hijacked. That's the key. That's not words. That's true. They have declared they have conquered us. That's a legal posting in over 200 newspapers I've seen in just the last year. I've shown them. Paul Watson and I wrote the article, Bankers Declare They've Conquered Europe and the U.S. Our first issue of the magazine covered that. Bankers declare they've conquered us. That is a legal posting. These people are lawyers because they leave back doors, escape hatches for themselves. They've got the military set. They've got the military ready. Rick Perry joked and said, we'll secede. They put the military on alert in surrounding states to invade. Good. Throw me in that briar patch. Let's get it on. Let's start it. Let's have you come in and knock some heads and put army on the streets. Let's get it going here. Not physical. Don't fight them when they do this. Let the redcoats occupy like they did for a decade before it really got going. No offensive attacks. Let their evil flow. Continue. They want to start the fight. Let them shoot first. We have the moral high ground. They'll probably stage some false flags to then blame it on us so they can get the moral high ground. Continue to expose their main weapon that we've almost destroyed, false flag. False flag, inside job, staged event, provocateur event. It's now in the nomenclature. It's now in the popular culture. Keep running that offense on them. They're going to invoke race war. You've seen it. Just, you don't like government-run health care? You're a racist. You don't like world government? You're a racist. You don't like election fraud, you're a racist. You're a racist. You're a racist. It's that division with the illegals and the inner city folks and the poor people who are victims of the mind control, just like the general public. That will be the globalist weapon system and their constituency. Their paramilitary police and the military are starting to wake up. But still, a lot of them are such authoritarians and drunk on power and drunk on the idea that they're moral. And drunk on the brainwashing they've been given, that a lot of them will try to prosecute a war of intimidation against us. They train Northcom for this. They understand this is the remedy in the Constitution. Not some secession where some guy declares themselves the king of Texas. But Texans saying the federal government has been hijacked by foreign globalists that have bragged that they've conquered us. You go into the legislatures with papers, with the examples of the news and the bankers announcing that there's a world government and we've been conquered. Their announcement, we've been conquered. You go in with the Declaration of Independence saying it's our right and duty to throw this off. You call for the state legislature associations, the gubernatorial associations, not the new 10-member FEMA Governor's Council that's the counterfeit over the governors getting together, or the rural affairs under Department of Defense, Homeland Security to run the rural areas. This is an emergency reorganization plan by design, modeled after the Mao and Lenin and Stalin takeovers of those countries and surrounding areas. We know their attack profile. We know their bombing runs. We know their plan. If the military and the police try to execute the gun confiscations that Obama and the NRA has documented, has planned, physical turn-ins of all semi-autos, there will be a civil war when that starts. People that resist will be called terrorists. And the media is saying it's secession 2.0, civil war. We're going to fight the gray coats. We're going to fight that's already the branding. No, we're not fighting gray coats and blue coats. This is northerner, southerner, westerner, black, white, Hispanic, Asian. If you want freedom, if you want out from under socialism and globalism, then you are 1776. Own it. Become it. Politically, just let them keep engaging us and abusing and stomping all over us. And just document, while moving politically to delegitimize them, to expose them. When they brag and post public notices that they've conquered us, we've been conquered. We've been taken over. They're trying to mop up the media. They put the internet kill switch in years ago. Now they've announced it under secret order. They're getting ready the new wars to try to get us to rally around. The economic implosions, all of it. This is going to be one Hades of a fight. We have got to accelerate the states' rights movement, the nullification movement, and we have to control the debate and not let them, which they've been waiting for, phrase it as racist and a hillbilly claiming he's the president of this state or that state. We have to say, no, this is from 1775, 1776, the join or die, and it's the New England, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Maine. You've got the states right here that were the colonies that were being overrun and treated like slaves and checkpoints on the roads. And now what's happened is the globalists have come in. They've come in and they've taken control of the head. And then the head has gone into all the parts and extracted the wealth, you understand, to bring it back to the head, so that we've got this giant New World Order head and all these little parts of the states that are actually giant, but the state government itself has been made this little, federal vestigial thing. We have to separate from the hijacked globalist government, and we have to go with the pieces of the states and reconstitute the new head, and then we join. So we start movements everywhere. If we get one tail to start pulling out and get our message out that it's about restoring the republic and kicking the globalists out, the others will fall into place. It will give other people moral courage in county, city, state government, the federal government. The generals have had courage, saying no to all these new wars and saying they won't, start this takeover. We've got to stand with them. The real place is petitions at your state level, going to your state house, getting movements going, getting Ron Paul drafted to have a movement, exploratory committees to try to reconstitute a new Continental Congress with legislative heads, governors, and other patriots that want to come create a master document off of working documents that were being passed around. But let me sign this for everyone. This is in the Congress, July 4th, 1776. The unanimous declaration of the 13 states of America. They seceded from the corrupt British Empire and created their new government. We're seceding from the New World Order that hijacked and killed the Republic, and we're re-uploading the Republic. See, John Hancock, it was a death warrant, and many people lost their families, lost everything that signed this. I'm going back to July 4, 1776, because the neocons are saying, don't you dare sign these. And I am publicly signing the Declaration of Independence against the New World Order, against the Federal Reserve, against the globalists. And I stand with those in Europe fighting for their sovereignty against the very same crime syndicate.